Have some of our buses up north, we put extra heaters on them. They're kerosene or diesel, just small little, it freaks people out because they see smoke coming from under the bus and it's a diesel, it's an electric, what's the smoke coming? But it's because the heating system on the bus is, especially in the north, it drains the batteries really fast. The AC actually is really efficient. The heating part of it is not, because it's just like turning on a blow dryer to try to heat the bus. But you all don't have these heaters. So the interlock is on. So if this light here comes on, the interlock is activated and the bus won't move. Now, anytime you come to a stop of, they say half a second, and your foot is off of the accelerator, that interlock is going to activate. And the way you turn it off is you just hit the accelerator. But it's like a hill stop. You know, if you come to stop on a hill, when you let your foot off the brake and go to the accelerator, sometimes you'd roll back. Well, this is going to hold you on that hill. But in the same aspect, it's also going to hold you at a stop until you hit the accelerator. Now, you say, well, I can just get out of the bus. I don't have to set the parking brake. No, don't trust it. Any system can fail. So make sure you're setting that brake when you come to a stop. Because if anybody else walked by and accidentally hit that accelerator, it's going to release that brake. So communications fault is just saying that the bus isn't communicating properly somewhere between the systems. The brake pad indicator. So if this light comes on, it's time to change the brake pads. It is all disc brakes all the way around. And very, very nice. They will stop on a dime. These things, if you slam on them, they're going to stop you really, really fast. It's incredible. Hinge joint stop. This is the one I was trying to get to. So you have the hinge joint here is just letting you know something's wrong with the hinge joint. Here, if you're backing up and you get that cocked a little too tightly, it's going to stop the bus and not let you drive any further. There is a switch just to the left of the steering wheel that you can toggle, and it will give you a little bit more room to get around if you're in a tight spot. They tell me that you guys back up into the gates.
Yeah.
So
that goes forward and backwards for the hinge joint stop, or just backwards?
pretty much, I've only seen it. I don't think you can cock it tight enough going forward because the back is just following you. Does that make sense?
It does.
But when you're backing it up,
Just for the back.
it gets cocked and it's going to be tighter going backwards. I've only seen it stop me going backwards. I've never had it stop me going forward. So I have gotten into such a tight situation to where I couldn't move because the building, it was just too tight around me. And I got in there and I got kinked in there, and then I had to use that joint override.
So that's the same as the override now, RTX.
Right. And so low voltage fault. So this is the low voltage battery fault. Disable the regen. You can disable the regen. Now the disable of the interlock and the regen are in a locked area. So usually the drivers aren't going to be allowed in there. Some drivers out of the city buses on the transit, they don't like to drive every day, so they come in and they figure out how to open that door up and turn that regen off. What they don't realize is the system, the bus is recording everything that is done to that system. And so it'll tell, if they come and hook their computer up, they'll be able to tell that they have their regen off. And the reason why they turn the regen off is so they don't regen power back to the batteries, and the batteries die a lot faster and they don't have to drive so long. And people, drivers can get pretty lazy sometimes. You're just shaking your head like in the.
Not Lawa bus drivers.
No, not Lawa
No.
drivers. I'm just saying city bus drivers, and the kind of garbage they have to put up with, driving those city routes, man, I think I would too. So, but anyway, pretty self-explanatory. The menu button and the odometer set, and the brightness and the different menus that you can toggle through with these buttons here. This is on the left and the right hand side of the steering wheel. These are the switches up above the driver in this door here. you have a charging override. You'll have to turn that on to be able to charge the bus. You'll have to, whenever you charge the bus, you have to override it. These buses here that have this switch usually have what we call helms or elms and hands. And it's just two systems that they put on the bus. And a lot of transit companies, they don't want to charge the buses during the day. So that what they do is the drivers come in, plug the bus in, and walk away. The computer system will automatically turn the charger on. And so, but if you're going to charge the bus at any time other than the scheduled time, you have to use the override. So, the PCS emergency override, that's basically a limp mode for the bus. You know, if the bus isn't drivable or for some reason, toggle the switch and see if that'll enable you to at least limp it into the mechanic shop. Airbag release will pancake the bus. Usually that's for when we deliver the bus on a flatbed or something, so they can lock it down on the flatbed. Here, it's usually just because the mechanics need to pancake the bus and maybe change the airbag or something, just releasing all the air out of it. The interlock override. And so that's the one where if the door gets damaged or it's not closing right, you can override that and still drive the bus. And this is the regen disabling the regen. This is the driving area here. And so I'm just going to go right into it. You have two air gauges. The top one is your secondary and your primary, just like on any other bus. And then the bottom one here, I believe it's just the system overall. Because I was watching it, I was asking them about it. It says the middle, front, middle, and rear air pressure gauge, which I'm guessing the middle would be the accessory air tanks. But I was looking at it last night and I did not have any, I had very low accessory air pressure. And the way that you can tell that you have low auxiliary air pressure, which this one does not indicate, is your seat won't raise up. You can be telling it to raise your seat up, and the door probably won't open and close properly, because those are all on the accessory. Or the bus won't raise, because when you tell it to raise the airbags, all three of those systems are on your auxiliary. So just wait a few minutes and let that air pressure build up. And but what I'm mentioning this is, I was thinking this was, I asked them in the shop what that was for, and nobody could give me a straight answer before I came out. And the owner's manual is not finished yet. And because we customize the buses so much, it takes us a few months to make the owner's manual. And so, but I was watching it last night, I was toggling, the air pressure was the same as the air pressure here, but I was looking at it, and I knew that I didn't have the auxiliary pressure because my seat wasn't raising up. And so I'm like, well, there goes that theory.
So, but is it safe to assume that both gauges has to be at its max capacity of air to operate properly, since no one knows?
Well, yeah, you
about
want to make sure it gets up to 120 or more.
So it's just the bottom one, since no one quite knows what that is.
It's more accurate.
The bottom one's more accurate.
The bottom one's more accurate is what they told me. For some other builds, I've seen it on other builds, they said that this one is more accurate than this one up here. This one here, these ones are just, more in general, and for the warning system. So when it gets down below some, and that's what they told me. I'm going by what they told me, the guys that install it, what they told me. So, but they're air pressure gauges. Here's your joint override here on the bottom here. So if you're backing up and that joint is stopping you, just use that to your windshield washer wipers, windshield wipers switch, the gear switch, drive, neutral, and reverse. You do not have to go into neutral to go between drive and reverse.
Good.
You just have to have the bus has to be stopped and the brake applied to switch them. And so